Hello. Let's see if I'm catching some people on their lunch break today. It's kind of an odd time. I don't normally go live at this time, but it's working out for me today, so we'll see. See how it goes. So I wanted to talk to you about something pretty heavy today. The reason that this came up, well, first of all, it being October, the month that I'm filming this in, this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This is Pregnancy Loss Month. And a lot of that revolves around grief, okay? Not just loss of life, but loss of what we thought life would be. And so I just wanted to talk about grief and loss a little bit today. And like I said, it's a heavy subject, okay? But we're going to talk about 3 ways that I remember living through the grief and the loss. Okay, so I'm going to share a little bit about myself today too. But one thing I remember in going through what I went through is, people sometimes say the wrong things, right? And I remember having to correct people and explain to them that you never move on, right? If you have experienced grief and loss, you understand this. You never move on from it, but you can move forward in it, and you take it with you. You always have that, it's a part of you. It changes you forever, right? It's not like you shed it and you forget about it or something. You just get over it. But you can move forward with it and grow through it, okay? But a few things that I remember that helped me that I wanted to share with you guys, okay? So my first significant experience with grief and loss was actually when my father left my senior year of high school. And so this wasn't a physical death, but it truly felt like a death in our family because he was gone. And I remember I had gotten into a car accident. Someone had rear-ended me, and so I was having neck pain. And I went to our family doctor, and so he knew my mom, and he knew what our family was going through. And I was there for my neck. My neck hurt. And he was he could just tell that there was a whole lot going on more than my neck. And in his wisdom and his discernment, he said, I think you need to go to the beach, because we lived close to the beach. He's like, just go by yourself, go to the beach, take a journal, and just write. Just write. And I was like, really? I should do that? He's like, yeah, just go do that. And so, so I did that. And it wasn't my first thought to do, because I'm not really a writer. And I had, had a diary every once in a while. I'm tearing up. I had a diary every once in a while, but I wasn't a consistent journaler. And so, but I did that. And I remember, and I think I looked back on it later and was able to, read things and be like, oh, wow, I remember feeling that way, and look how far I've come, or look where I'm now. And so that, just being able to look in hindsight is really helpful. But getting the words out on paper, because sometimes in grief, we don't even have the energy to talk to someone about it. We don't want to talk about it out loud, not everything. And so being able to write it down just can be therapeutic, very therapeutic and helpful. So that was the first thing. And then later on, in our after I'd gotten married, and had been married for about 4 years, and we became pregnant with our first child. And we had a stillborn daughter first, before our 2 children that we have now. And so, that was, here I am, I'm just going to cry through the whole video. Okay, so that was the most painful experience ever. Um, and like the grief was so heavy, like my body actually craved the endorphins that you get through exercise. And I was not an exerciser. Like, to this day, it's still not like something I like to do a lot. Um, but I learned that by exercising, I felt better, right? And I didn't understand endorphins and everything at that time, but I knew that when I exercised, I felt better. So I exercised every day. I became a runner, you guys. I'm not a runner, but during that time, I became a runner because it was so helpful to my body and my soul just to do that and experience the endorphins in my body, the happy hormones that I needed so badly at that time. Okay, so writing, exercise, and then the third thing I wanted to talk about was community. And sometimes we have to actively seek this out because sometimes it's just not readily available in some way. I mean, usually a lot of people seek this out through their church community, which is amazing. One of the many benefits of being a part of a church community. If you're not and you're local and you want to be, please reach out to me and I can, tell you about my church. And there's lots of other churches in the area that you can look into. But there's other communities too, like just this, right? This is a community. Like there are mom communities, just communities of like-minded people that you feel a connection with, that you feel can support you in one way or another. Because when you have no strength, when you're dealing with grief and loss and you are completely emotionally, spiritually, physically drained and you have nothing left to give, you need that support. That's when you need it. And so that community held us up. They were our support system when we needed it. So I highly recommend, not just when you're in the midst of a crisis, but all the time, be in community with people. It doesn't have to be a giant group of people. It can be just, a small group of people, your people you connect with. I just don't know what we would have done without, our church community and our friends supporting us at that time. So exercise, writing, and community are the three things that came to mind. And I'm going to share more on Thursday. I'm going to write a little bit more in detail about our experience with the loss of our daughter, since this is October and we're talking about pregnancy, loss. So I'm going to share with you my story, and I hope that's encouraging for some of you, or you can share it with other people who might need that encouragement as well, that maybe have gone through that. I believe that we go through things and we can choose how to respond to them. And if we're given a trial, if we're allowed to experience something like that, being able to use it to help other people is the best thing ever. So if my story can help someone or bless someone, then that's what I want. So please share it. Anyway, like I said, this is a heavy topic, but I would love to hear from you too, because I know so many people, so many moms in this group have experienced loss in one way or another. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a physical death. I think through this whole pandemic thing, we have all experienced loss of one form or another, whether it's our job, whether it's our, being able to see our family or our friends, our church community. Like there's so many things that we have lost in our regular life, and we grieve those losses. So like we have all experienced that in the past 7 months, right? So exercise, write, be in community the best way you can right now. Okay. I love you all. Thank you all for tuning in. Hi, Charisse. I see you on there. So stay tuned for my blog on Thursday. I'll go into more detail about my story. And I hope you all have a wonderful Tuesday.